photo of him in the Oval Office. All right, folks, look, that right there. That right there, the photo on your screen. All right, folks, look, that right there, the photo on your screen, is the President of the United States. That's Donald Trump, a real photo of him in the Oval Office the other day, passed out, asleep in front of the entire country as a press conference is happening right in front of him. They have all these people here for this press conference. Journalists are there taking photos of him, and Donald Trump was passed out. I think it's becoming abundantly clear to everybody, and that includes Republicans, that there is something wrong with Donald Trump. This press conference took place in the middle of the day. It was not like 10 o'clock at night, 11, 12, and it was a late night event or anything like that. It was the middle of the day, and Donald Trump couldn't keep his eyes open. There is something wrong here. And I want to show you a bunch of different pieces of evidence of this in just the past couple of weeks that have raised major alarms for people all across the political spectrum. So look, let's get into all of this right now. Before I do that, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think is wrong with Donald Trump, especially if you're a doctor. I'm curious. But let's go forward here. Let's continue. I just thought this photo was so stunning, but there were more. So before the MAGA trolls are in the comments saying, oh, it's just a bad photo of him. No, you don't capture a bunch of bad photos of somebody doing the exact same thing at the same event. There were multiple different photos of Donald Trump asleep. I mean, look, his eyes are closed. There's no ambiguity here. His eyes are closed. This is certain. Here's another one, struggling to keep his eyes open. I mean, he looks like it's nap time. He looks like a toddler needing to go down. And this one is really, really bad. I mean, here he is, and I'm sorry to zoom in on his face. I know it's a little bit of a jump scare. I'm not trying to produce a horror movie here, but I mean, he's right here struggling to keep his eyes open. And he has people standing behind him. It's not like, he's just sitting in the Oval Office. It's a long day. It's nighttime. He's sitting there struggling to keep his eyes open. I mean, it's insane. And here's another one just for some good luck of him again, eyes closed. Same story in all of these different photos. And what's really funny is that during this press conference, you had Dr. Oz talking about obesity drugs and having Americans be healthy while Donald Trump is slumped in his chair, falling asleep. Watch.
People can sleep again because they can breathe as when they go to bed. Folks whose knees don't hurt. People who don't have heart attacks, renal failure, dementia, all the things we know are associated with obesity and much more.
You have this quack doctor just rambling about whatever the hell he's rambling there. And then just zoom in on the president of the United States. That's the leader of the free world, the guy that has the nuclear codes, and he's slumped in his chair, not even paying attention to what a member of his administration is saying. This announcement he was touting and was so excited for, and well, yeah, look at him, look how excited he is. He's, falling asleep. And this was the same event, by the way. And, I mean, he looks terrible here as well, to be clear. But this was the same event when somebody collapsed, passed out in front of Donald Trump. And instead of showing just a little bit of care, he just stood there as all these other people were attending to him. But there's Donald Trump as somebody is passing out. And he really does look awful. I mean, he looks tired. He looks weak. He's not looking good these days. And this all goes back to the conversation we've been having for a couple of weeks on this show, which is Donald Trump had a surprise physical in October, another annual physical, which he had one in April. So this is clearly not an annual physical. It's the second one he had this year. But the White House said that this annual physical was going to be routine. They're going to do all of the normal tests that they do at a physical, right? Everybody's had one, but it was far deeper than that. And you guys know the story, but a bit has come out recently about this as well that's somewhat new. So this letter was published by Donald Trump's doctor saying the visit was part of his ongoing health maintenance plan and included advanced imaging, laboratory testing, and preventative health assessments conducted by a multidisciplinary team of specialists. That doesn't sound like a routine physical. That sounds like something much deeper, especially, and this is what caught a lot of people's eyes, the advanced imaging. Why is Donald Trump receiving advanced imaging? This is somebody that claims to be as healthy as a horse. He can do anything. He could run 10 miles. He could run a marathon. Put him in New York City, have him run the marathon. The White House makes it seem like he could do that and more in a day. But then he's having advanced imaging, and we learned that as part of this advanced imaging, it was an MRI. Donald Trump got an MRI, which is incredibly concerning that the White House did not reveal that, nor did they put out the results of that MRI. But Donald Trump got an MRI. And as people have correctly pointed out, MRIs are not, number one, they're not standard for a physical, but also number two, they're not just handed out to anybody. There has to be a reason for you to get an MRI. A doctor has to identify a symptom or something wrong with you, and they need a deeper look at your bones, your organs, whatever it might be. It's advanced imaging to see if there's something wrong. And there are different uses for MRIs that can be innocent and not something that is very serious. But when Donald Trump is dodging questions, when the White House are dodging questions, I think it's easy to think that maybe there's something deeper here. And as a journalist on MSNBC pointed out recently, this is not routine whatsoever. Take a listen.
Well, Anna, doctors we talk to are careful not to speculate about the president's health, but physicians across multiple disciplines tell us that even for a 79-year-old like the president, an MRI is never routine. The president said that he underwent an MRI. It's still unclear because his physician only referenced advanced screening, which can mean a number of different types of testing. Doctors do tell us that an MRI is usually ordered when a physician wants to follow up on a finding from a previous exam, or they're trying to address a complaint from the patient. Just for reference, Anna, it's not legally required for presidents to undergo a certain number of exams or to release those findings to the public, but it has become a tradition for presidents to undergo at least one annual exam and disclose those findings.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it should be a law, right? Because Donald Trump is clearly covering this up. And it just brings us back to the point that Donald Trump had a physical in April. He went to the doctor. He claims he had a physical. That's what the White House said. And so was Donald Trump's physician following up on something that they discovered back in April and they had to do an MRI to get a closer look at something? We can only speculate. We truly only can because Donald Trump has told us nothing about the MRI. He said, go ask my doctors, but the doctors are not going to say anything. And what's even weirder about this situation is that when Caroline Leavitt was asked a question about the MRI, she dodged it. She just completely dodged it. Listen.
Why did President Trump get an MRI during his recent visit to Wall Street?
Look, as President Trump said, he would inquire with the physicians. I'll check back on that. But as the physical itself stated, Kristen, and as you all know, because you are all witness to it, every single day the president is in optimal physical health. This was a follow-up appointment, and we provided a detailed readout of that physical. I'm happy to give it to you again, and I can inquire further.
With all due respect, an MRI is a very specific procedure. It's done on a part of the body looking for something specific, so it's not generally part of any kind of routine checkup. And in addition, President Trump has said that he wants to be transparent. He told us to ask the doctors, which we have and have not heard back. Why don't we have more information on this?
As I said, I'll check back for you.
Yeah, and guess what? She never checked back. Caroline Leavitt has not addressed this. And how can she possibly look at the American people and these journalists and lie to their faces so consistently? Just like, regardless of if you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent listening to the show right now, can you, with full honesty, look at this photo and say this is somebody who's exhibiting excellent personal health on a daily basis, is just perfectly healthy? No, obviously not. If you're falling asleep constantly in the middle of the day, and we have so many images like this, there's something not right here. And this is in addition, of course, to the bruising on Donald Trump's hand, which the White House has still not been transparent about. It's in addition to his large tree trunk ankles, I like that he's been having recently, where his ankles have been swollen, right? There's so many different things going on with Donald Trump that the White House has just not been transparent about. And so they need to be open with the American people about Donald Trump's health, because the longer this goes on, the longer we don't have answers, and the longer that Donald Trump is falling asleep in front of the entire country, the worse off we'll be. So I'm going to keep the pressure on. I'm going to keep asking these questions. Make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment. Let me know what you think about this story. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the retirement of the colors.